If you remember, we said positive degree with equal quality, comparative degree with unequal quality. But here, superlative degree, we compare more than two things with unequal quality. More than two things with unequal quality. Maybe I'm comparing, or I'm going to compare one thing with many others. Like for example, Hannah is the most beautiful girl in the family. So here I'm comparing Hannah with the whole member of the family. So Hannah is the most beautiful. I compared her with more than two members of the family. And if you remember before when I explained about comparative degree, if a word or an adjective has more than one syllable, we are going to use more. Again here, when it is superlative degree, we are going to use most. But if you are using one syllable word only, just like tall, big, and the like, then you are going to add only est at the end. Like for example, she is the tallest girl in our class. So here the adjective is tall, and I added only est because I'm comparing her with the whole students in the class. So these are superlative, comparative, and positive degree. This is all about adjectives. So dear parents, there are questions on the textbook that deals about this comparison of adjectives. So please help your child to do the questions on their exercise book. The other point that we are going to see today is about punctuation mark. This is, if you remember, we have seen about reading. So you are going to read likes and dislikes about which season you prefer or you like. And then after you read, you do the questions, define the vocabularies on your textbook. Then the grammar point is about comparison of adjective. Now comes the writing part. So when we write, there are some rules that we have to follow. So I will show you some punctuation markers when you are writing a paragraph or a sentence at home or anywhere. So writing, as you know, it is a basic skill, very basic skill. So here we have 4 skills: reading, writing, listening, and writing. So speaking also. So when you are writing, there are rules that you need to follow. Punctuation mark. Punctuation marks are very important when you write. So today we are going to see only 4 punctuation marks because they will help you to write paragraphs and sentences. So the first one is full stop. Do you remember when we put full stops? So full stops are written at the end of each sentence. If you remember, you have learned, I hope, about types of sentences. So after each sentences, we are going to put a full stop. What kind of sentences? Statement or declarative sentences will take a full stop at the end. For example, I am a teacher. So after I finish my sentence, I will put a full stop at the end. So these kind of sentences always take full stop at the end. So if you want to start another sentence after full stop, you are going to begin with a capital letter. So the other one is question mark. Question mark. So this question mark is also, it is a type of punctuation mark. When are we going to use it? We use this question mark at the end of a question sentence. A question sentence. This is also one type of sentence. So, if you are asking somebody a question, at the end, you are going to put a question mark. For example, am I a teacher? Now at the end, I will put a punctuation mark. So, what punctuation mark? Question mark. So, this is the second one. The third one that is very important is comma. Comma. So, this comma is used when you are taking a pause in reading, and also when you are listing things. Like, for example, I have a pen, a bag, a book, and pencil. So, you see, when I am listing things, pen, bag, book, and pencil. If you say and, you don't need to put a comma here. So, just simply before and, there is no comma, but if you are listing things, you are going to use a comma. The other one is, which is the very important one, is a capital letter. Capital letter. So, when are we going to use this capital letter? Of course, you know, always you start a sentence with capital letter. Always. So, when you start a sentence, use at the beginning of a word, always use capital letter. And if you remember, or if you learn about proper nouns means nouns that are given for special things like your name, your father's name, or your country's name, or the place that around you live. Like, for example, Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Hannah. These names should be written with capital letters, always. And also, the pronoun I, always, whether you find it at the beginning of a sentence, in the middle of a sentence, or around at the end, always write this pronoun I with capital letters. So these are the very important things that you have to remember when you are trying to write sentences. Okay, so let's summarize what we have discussed today. So we discussed about what you are going to read at home with your parents and define the vocabularies that you come across when you are reading the passage. And again, about comparison of adjectives, do the questions on your textbook with your parents. And also, when you are writing a paragraph, you need to use these 4 punctuation marks. So, when are we going to use it? Full stop, question mark, comma, and capital letter. So, this is what I have for today. So, please, dear parents, help your students to do the questions at home.